Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo! Yeah.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Go crazy at Bob Walker. Go nuts.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Your Razorbacks are 2021 SEC champions. And Bob Walker Stadium is an insane asylum.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
Hey there, what's going on? It is a Thursday, and we are good to be with you. Phil Elson, Matty T, Drew Barrett, and lots to get to today on a day where finally going to be able to speak with one of the coordinators under Sam Pittman. Well, we're not doing the talking.
Yeah.
We're not doing the talking because they're practicing right now. They've had morning practice now 2 days in a row, which leaves them for interviews that start, I think, right about now is when Barry Odom is supposed to be speaking. Bob Holt will join us at the bottom of hour number 2 to get into that conversation. I've said from the start that to me is the coach more than anyone that I want to hear from because of the necessary depth on the defensive line we've talked about. Can your secondary improve upon last year? Linebacking core might have gotten a little bit deeper. So excited to hear what Bob gets from Barry Odom, second-year defensive coordinator for Arkansas. We'll get into a little bit in just a moment or so these injuries that the Georgia Bulldogs are dealing with. I don't know if that's going to affect them too much when Arkansas visits Athens. That is week 5, and right now, you're not worried about week 5 if you're Georgia or Arkansas. But look who Georgia's got week 1, right? True, one of the biggest games in the season out of conference against the Clemson Tigers, and they've got a whole rash of injuries to deal with. Bottom of this hour, Drew was able to get us Mike Detillier, covers LSU football. Again, it's one of those names where you hope you're saying it properly because he is from Louisiana.
You just got to say it like you're from Louisiana. Mike Detillier.
Which really for me would be like, but I don't know if I want to call him that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, not while we have. I've never met him before. I don't feel like I can joke with him.
He's a nice guy.
Yet.
Do his whole intro like in a New Orleans accent. And now we welcome to. I can't do accent.
Is that
right?
really?
I'm not really good. I was going to get you to do it. You
Matty realized like before the first syllable came out.
As soon as it is like, no, I can't do it.
He's like, oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, that was pretty much like Kevin Costner doing a British accent as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Nice job.
You know my position on the Costner. He can do no wrong. He's great in everything.
Greatest sports actor alive.
He played British Kevin Costner in Prince of Thieves, Robin Hood, so it's okay. And we loved it at that moment, too.
Yes.
We loved it at that moment, too. All right, calls and texts, of course, at 877-377-6963. It is a Thursday, so we've got halftime homework.
Kind of feels like a Friday.
It does.
For you, it does.
Yeah.
No, I even woke up this morning thinking it was Friday.
All right, how nervous are you for tomorrow, Drew? Maddie's taking tomorrow off.
Yes.
Last week, when Maddie took Friday off,
it was a disaster.
The whole show went to crap.
Oh, it couldn't have been that bad.
It was that bad.
It was pretty much, yeah. So I think given a second chance, I think things might go a little bit.
Maddie re-showed me the things throughout the week. I'm going to have him show me a few more times throughout the show today, and hopefully I don't screw it up. I probably will, but fingers crossed I don't.
You are so not going to sleep tonight. You're going to be waking up in cold sweats.
Oh, I am.
Like, no, don't take the day off, Maddie. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's doing it. He deserves it. Do it. We'll see how that goes.
Yes, have a good time.
All right, so what else can I... By the way, today is the day that the athletic season begins.
Really?
We focus so much on football. Soccer starts today.
Yay.
Number 13, Arkansas, visiting number 6, Duke. Going for a third consecutive SEC regular season championship. Of course, the visit to North Carolina won't have anything to do with that. But, we focus so much on football, Drew. Soccer is the sport that starts first in around college, around the country. So happy 2021-2022 athletics season. It is starting tonight at 6 o'clock. Arkansas and Duke, and then they take on UNC on Sunday. So I guess officially that means it's like how many different ways can you view the idea that summer is over? Kids return to school. Fayetteville starts to fill up. Practices in football, scrimmages in high school. But now we have regular season games. Starting tonight, happy autumn.
To me, autumn doesn't really start until after Labor Day because August is so hot down here in the South that it still does feel so much of like summer, but it is one of those milestones or one of those dates that get you to kind of veer towards the idea that fall is coming, the start of school, start of athletics, full football practice, and everything else.
Yeah, I would like to say that the idea that autumn begins when we no longer have 95-degree days, which you know that those are coming back at some point here in August and early September. That's just a
heck, even a few random days in October it could do that.
Right. So anyway, happy athletic season. Can they make it to the Sweet 16, second year in a row? Of course, the season for Arkansas soccer really just ended a few months ago because they played most of their games in the spring, finished 12-3, and under Colby Hale, that program just has continued to get better and better. And taking on a couple of good teams. Duke's ranked 6th. North Carolina is ranked close to that, certainly ahead of Arkansas in the soccer rankings. Anyway, that'll be our soccer coverage for the day. I had to we've been wondering because sooner or later, hopefully sooner rather than later, because kickoff against Rice is 2 weeks and 2 days away. That means that we, Drew and Maddie, we are 15 days away from when we've got to lock in our picks for the first weekend of the college football season.
I'm excited.
I really kind of like there is a week 0. I don't know.
This is my year.
Well, the season actually starts next weekend. I don't know any of the other games other than Nebraska versus Illinois. That's a week 0 game. So maybe
we can pick week 0.
Maybe we need to start with a week 0, which I still don't believe there is such a thing as a week 0. Let's just be honest here. That would be week 1. Everybody else can start week 2.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing of saying that you start the season on week 2. It's like starting the season with a bye game. It makes no sense.
It's even weirder for me to think of the idea of a week 0 in anything. I understand you start from 0 and then go to 1, but that would be the first week of the anyway. I mean, we're talking logistics here, and I like the logical aspect of calling it week 1 instead of week 0. But Drew, and we've got to figure out our punishments because nobody that wins the picks wins anything other than the pride and joy that they don't have to do something stupid or something they don't want to do.
I might make myself a banner, but other than that.
Well, Maddie, Drew had an idea. He thought this was a great idea. Apparently this is big for people that are in their mid-20s.
If it was a great idea, but I wanted to know where the line was.
This would be the line for me, I guess. We're not doing – I have nothing against tattoos or piercings. I have a tattoo of my own. I'm not getting anything pierced anywhere on my body at all.
If
and
you
it's
got
not
your
because
ears,
I'm
if
not
you got
afraid
your ears
of pain.
pierced, you can take them out in 2 weeks and it heals up.
When I was like 15, I got my ear pierced.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't wear an you wouldn't know because I don't wear an earring at 38.
I'm sure you do.
And here's the thing, too.
Did it look cool?
It was never cool, no. It
Little
never
diamond
cool.
stud?
Yeah, it was a diamond stud, yep.
I had to go through this whole thing with the dermatologist the other day, and he's asking me, have you ever had any piercings? And he's asking me about all the places on my body. I'm like, you want me to show you all these places that I don't have piercings?
Even the downstairs part that people get pierced?
He did ask about that. I did not have to show it to him. I guess he didn't need any proof.
He took your word for it?
He believed you on that one?
That's one area where you can take somebody's word for it as far as piercings are concerned. But I'll draw the line at that because I don't want any more tattoos. I don't need anything else that is permanent
what is
on
your
my
tattoo
body.
Of?
It's a cloud over grass with Hebrew words in the middle that stand for dream chaser.
And see, I was always under the impression that tattoos were against the Jewish faith.
They are.
Oh.
Yeah, but so is eating bacon, and I do that all the time, so it doesn't really matter.
So your eligibility for being buried in a Jewish cemetery was already out with the bacon.
Just slice that piece of the shoulder off and eat that once they're being buried. That's just,
again,
logic. It's all about logic.
I guess being 26, I have 5 tattoos in total. And I want more. So, like, if it was something small, I wouldn't mind it. And especially depending on where it was on my body. If it was be able to be covered up, I wouldn't mind if that was a punishment.
Would
but
you
it
get
has
one
to
that
be
says
small.
Arkansas for life?
Oh, maybe you could have gotten the fight song, the Arkansas fight song, tattooed on your butt, because you had to learn that for halftime homework, right?
I did.
Did you learn the Arkansas fight song?
For the most part, the spelling of Arkansas still trips me up. I don't know why there are 3 A's to start it off. There only should be one.
Well, that's part of the fight song, man. So you either did or you didn't. There's no in between.
I'll get it down by then.
And we do have a little pop quiz coming on for halftime homework, because we're going to celebrate the fact, this is an opinion right now, but soon it's going to turn into a fact, that Drew's favorite Major League Baseball team, the Baltimore Orioles, will be setting the American League record for consecutive losses, and I've got reasons why later. Next, the Georgia Bulldogs are banged up.
Razorback football is back.
Burks is going to score. Football. The Hogs have dived for the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Call those Hogs.
The Stampede's coming.
Catalan was a blur in the end zone.
This is a proud day of the state.
Arkansas wins a ball game.
The season starts September 4th on your home for the Razorbacks.
Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson for the Morning Rush, ESPN 95.3, back again on location at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Now, everyone is anticipating a thriller this Saturday at this location, the 16th annual Thick Burger Contest. And this is the last day, and I mean the last day you have a chance to qualify for the contest. Come see me before 1 o'clock today at 1820 Phoenix Avenue at Fort Smith at this Hardee's, and you got to eat a thick burger in 90 seconds or less. There's a reason there's so much hype, there's so much build, there's so much anticipation. Chiefs, Cowboys, November, Arrowhead Stadium. That's what's on the line. That's what you can win. So come by and see me. It's the 16th annual Thick Burger Contest from Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue.
AC not cooling like it should? Don't wait till you're sweating in a hot car. Get to Cherokee Tire & More in Mansfield, where they are ready to provide AC services for all your vehicle needs. Need new tires, oil change, or other services? Call or come by today and let James and his crew take care of all your vehicle needs. Cherokee Tire & More has semi-truck and ATV tires, along with truck accessories like rough country lift kits. Located at 700 Highway 71 North in Mansfield, Cherokee Tire & More is open Monday through Friday, 7 till 5:30, and Saturday, 7:30 till 2.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Hi, I'm Buddy Mayer from the Mean Pig Barbecue in Cabot, Arkansas. I'm a retired U.S. Air Force veteran. I served in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I've received my COVID-19 vaccination. I think it's very important for our community and our state. I served my country proudly, both here and abroad. I think it's time that everyone step up and serve their community and their state by getting vaccinated to protect our community. We need to get vaccinated. We need to protect ourselves and our state.
Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
As the days get longer and the weather gets warmer, it just means more time for outdoor fun. Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Wheeler Power Sports knows everything there is to know about helping you have that fun. Right now, you can save up to $1,000 or get financing as low as 0% during the Kawasaki Rev Up for Spring Sales event. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or go see them at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
I want to talk about a couple of other teams in the SEC that are not Arkansas. But Arkansas will play both of these teams, the Georgia Bulldogs, on October 9th. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. Georgia Bulldogs on October the 2nd. They get Auburn on the 9th. And LSU, November 13th. Those are also 2 road games for the Razorbacks. Gosh, I mean, you say they have a really tough schedule. The road games are awfully tough. The toughest aspect of the schedule, no doubt. Road at Athens, at Oxford, at Baton Rouge, in Tuscaloosa. Even winning one road game this year seems like it is going to be awfully difficult to do. So, Drew, we're talking with Mike Detillier in the next segment, LSU. And the thing about LSU is that they replaced most of the coaching staff under Ed Ogeron. Mm-hmm. They've got 2 new coordinators. You can call it 3 because they've got a passing game coordinator. I mean, they wiped out the top of the staff.
I mean, when you have that bad of a year and your defense is that bad, I mean, who's expected Bo Pelini to actually make it a second year in Baton Rouge?
And, of course, we know Brad Davis leaves Arkansas as the offensive line coach, replaces James Craig at LSU. The first and foremost thing, you talk about a quarterback for a team all the time, the first thing LSU has to do is the same thing that Ole Miss has to do, which is improve defensively, and it would appear that LSU might have more pieces to improve defensively. Certainly, you'd imagine that LSU's defense will improve based upon the thought that that school never gave up 35 points a game, which they gave up last year. That's incredible. LSU for years, I know that, they win the national championship a couple years ago based on that explosive offense. But this is a program that almost routinely, year in, year out, is one of the toughest defenses in the nation.
I mean, it's not referred to DBU for nothing.
That's exactly right. 35 points a game allowed last year, almost 500 yards per game.
Ooh.
And, I mean, they got lucky in at least a couple of their wins. Certainly remember how lucky it felt like they got out of Arkansas, although Arkansas going 0 for 10 on third down that day, and I don't remember what LSU did, but they couldn't
help.
Couldn't get off the field on third down. That was a big aspect of it. But, these coordinators, you've got Jake Peets, who replaces Ensminger. You've got DJ Mangus, the passing game coordinator, replacing Scott Linehan. Linehan just 1 year there. Ensminger had been there for a long time, but, it felt like he was asked to retire and acquiesced. Durante Jones is the defensive coordinator with Bo Pelini let go. We know about Brad Davis. So right there, that's 4 top assistants. And I was looking on their website today. There's still a couple of position coaches that they don't have anybody listed under. Safeties, they fired last year's safety coach. So, I mean, you've got a good measure of continuity for the Arkansas coaching staff, and for good reason. But still, the Hogs finished with a worse record than LSU, and it's LSU that ends up making not wholesale changes there. Kevin Falk returns as the running backs coach, a couple of others, but it's a much different staff under Ed Ogeron. And the thing that I'd only read about this is that he made sure he was more involved in the hiring process of his assistants this time around. Which
he wasn't involved the last time?
Blows your mind. Or I guess it's a measure
who's in charge
of,
there?
How involved are you? Yeah, because there's certain levels of involvement. I don't know if I don't know exactly where his involvement would have been or where it wouldn't have been, but
don't you kind of need to be involved to figure out the type of guys to bring into your program to run the program the way that you want to run and to run the styles that you want being ran? I mean, how are you not already 100% involved in that? Like that just is a crazy statement and a crazy thought to me, to think that a head coach of any program, especially as high quality and caliber as LSU is, that you're not hands-on when hiring your own staff?
Yeah,
makes no sense.
Coach O has also kind of looked the other way in a couple of other things. So I don't know.
We know that
plays into that. LSU opens with UCLA. That ought to be a good game. It's out in the Rose Bowl. McNeese and then Central Michigan to round out their first 3 start the conference schedule on the road at Mississippi State, home against Auburn. Then they travel to Kentucky, Florida, and LSU in Baton Rouge. Something tells me that'll be a fun game. Just before their off week, it's Ole Miss and Oxford. They get the off week before visiting Alabama. Hopefully there's an Alabama effect when the Razorbacks visit Baton Rouge November 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then ULM and Texas A&M, their rivalry week game with A&M. See how long that lasts. 877-377-6963. Then there's Georgia. The second supposed challenger, along with A&M, for the top dog status in the SEC, along with Alabama. You give Georgia the probably a step ahead of A&M.
Yeah, I'd put them above them.
Well, they're in the other division too. So.
And what Kirby Smart's continually been able to do since he's been there, always been the predominant favorite in the East since he's been there. While Jimbo has kind of rid that A&M train, the ebbs and flows of being Texas A&M. You look like world beaters one week, and then you look like the worst team ever. I was trying to think of a better analogy or something to use there. That was the reason for the pause. But it's just always such a roller coaster with A&M. So I think Jimbo's got it figured out. I think he's on more of a smoother, straight uphill path. But A&M gonna A&M until they don't.
Alabama versus A&M is October 9th in College Station. That's the biggest game in the SEC West, certainly in the first half of the season. And Georgia, Clemson, then UAB, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and then they host Arkansas October the 2nd. I would imagine that some of these injuries that Georgia's dealing with have been, they've recovered from by the time you get to 5-6 weeks, but maybe in a couple of cases, who knows? Like right now, who does JT Daniels throw to? Like it's assumed that offensively they're going to get better, certainly passing-wise, because JT Daniels looked pretty good when he got on the field last year, and he's a highly touted 5-star, great arm, and there's no quarterback competition. But who's he throwing to right now? I mean, they got a couple of wide receivers, and Jordan Pickens was supposed to be their best coming back. He's out still.
He was going to be wide receiver one, regardless.
Still out indefinitely with the ACL. Dominic Blaylock is also out indefinitely with the same injury. Eric Gilbert, I would imagine UGA anticipated that he was going to be a pretty big aspect of the passing game.
Sure they
the
did.
Former LSU tight end to wide receiver, but he's gone from the program for personal reasons, and who knows when he'll return. And then yesterday they lose one of their tight end who they thought might be a breakout performer, Darnell Washington, and they also lose the defensive back Tyke Smith. All of these guys, plus the center, the starting center, Warren Erickson right now is out with a hand injury. You read all of this. These are 6 starters or potential starters for
these
Georgia
are key guys
that are out right now. And 24/7 Sports reported that Smith, who was battling for a starting position in the secondary, and Washington, the tight end, underwent foot surgery, and they're going to be out for the Clemson game. It's 2 pretty big pieces. It's 2 weeks before the season starts. Their center has a hand injury. Now, look, Arkansas, it feels like they've not dodged, but they just really haven't dealt with any major injuries right now at camp. The one that stands out
first.
Really is Ricky Stromberg's knee injury, but he's already back at practice wearing the green jersey, so it looks like he's on the road to being ready for week 1 against Rice. I'd read where Traylon Smith has not been seen by the media at practice for at least 2-3 days. That doesn't mean he hasn't necessarily been there because the media only sees 20 minutes of practice. But that's one area where I would be a little nervous because I feel like Traylon Smith is one of the more important players heading into the season. I think there are a lot of young running backs, Green, Hunt, and certainly Raheem Rocket Sanders, that might make a dent this year, but they're freshmen. So, we don't know what you're getting from them early.
A lot of unknowns,
yeah. It feels you get a much better idea about what you had from Traylon Smith, and it's his second year in the offense as well. And again, if you're going by the media reports, we haven't seen him for 2-3 days of practice, but it does not necessarily mean that he's injured. There could be other reasons why he hasn't been there for those specific moments.
Yeah, and back to Georgia real quick. I mean, that many injuries to that many key guys, it's going to be it's going to affect that week 1 matchup. And for Georgia, just due to the fact that they have to go through Alabama or A&M or wherever else comes out of the West, this could be an elimination game for them. Now, ultimately, you still have a shot at getting in the 4, but if Ohio State dominates the way that we think they will, Clemson beats Georgia, they dominate, obviously get the SEC champion out of there. If OU has a great season, Georgia could be eliminated by the end of week 1.
Yeah.
So this is a very, very important game.
And potentially like a win over Clemson, depending on how Clemson does this year, and probably should do really well, that could help mitigate potentially a loss in the SEC championship game, and still be in the Final Four. All right, we'll get back with LSU football in just a moment with Mike Detillier. Stay with us on Halftime. Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center.
The start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game or before the season starts, head on over to Bet Online and start playing today. That's Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tanya Tucker said when she died, she may not go to heaven because she didn't know if they let cowboys inside. Psalm 24 answers her question. Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. The only one qualified to meet that standard ascended after he died to pay the way for you to go inside. Believing in Jesus means he won't condemn us, and the only will be hotter than Texas. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
The start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game or before the season starts,
know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
This is ESPN 95.3. Don't forget about dollar sausage biscuits at Hardee's this Friday in Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Sallisaw locations. Want to qualify for the 16th annual Thick Burger Contest from Hardee's? Go to hitthatline.com, follow our social media pages, and be listening where the next qualifier is. Chiefs-Cowboys tickets are on the line. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Halftime brought to you by Riley Farm Dental, right at the entrance of Riley Farms at Highway 71. Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan, giving patients better lives and comfortable experiences. Riley Farm provides all dental procedures, braces, implants, cosmetics, and been voted top 3 best of the best 4 years running. RileyFarmDental.com, 226-3500. Let's talk some LSU Tigers football with Mike Detillier, NFL and college analyst, WWL Radio. And, Mike, we appreciate your time today here in Arkansas on this Thursday. How are you?
I'm fine, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
We're fired up for football, Mike, because we're
expecting. Me too. I'm ready.
We're expecting a step forward for this Arkansas team this year. A step forward for the Razorbacks would be the same record that LSU was disappointed with last year. He still felt like LSU was even lucky to get those 5 wins. So what would be a step forward under Ed Ogeron in 2021?
Get to double digits. That's what's expected. You got 4 of your 5 starting offensive linemen back. Got a star receiver in Keyshawn Butte returning. Max Johnson, it was going to be a quarterback kind of duel between him and Miles has an arm injury, and so bad luck for Miles, just back to back. But Max is a poised guy, got the pedigree, certainly with being the son of Brad Johnson, and but he gets his athletic ability from his mom, who's a really good athlete, and so won a couple games late last year. And got some confidence on this football team. Guys, I'll be honest, is the best defensive line talent and depth I've seen at LSU in the past dozen years. They got talent there. They really do. Cornerbacks, if they healthy, I don't know if you'll find a better tandem. When you have Derek Stingley Jr., who's arguably best defensive player in college football, Elias Ricks was outstanding last year as a true freshman, and they got a couple young guys in Cardell Flott and McLaughlin, who has really picked it up. Big question marks is going to be at linebacker, kind of who gets the nod there. Mike Jones comes in from Clemson, and they have a walk-on, Jared Small, who's a senior walk-on, who was, he's fought them all off. His deal is, all these 4- and 5-star recruits, I've been fighting him for a while. And, he would be the projected starter today. Big question mark is offensive line. They were soft as cotton last year. They got pushed around and not beat, but beat up. And so that's the area I think that LSU's got to improve upon. They got to be better along the offensive line. They were not real good last year. They were terrible, to be honest.
Well, and you make a change at the offensive line coach amongst a bunch of other changes that Ed Ogeron made in his staff, and you hit on the idea that there's a lot of talent on the LSU defense, and it's just shocking to think that a program that's had defensive success like LSU over the years gave up a program record 35 points per game last year. How much of that was put on specifically Bo Pelini, because he's gone after just 1 year?
Quite a bit of it, to be honest. That was a lack of communication. They seem to be as lost as baby rabbits out in the field. I mean, they were just running around, and you heard it from numerous players. We just didn't know what was going on, and they wouldn't change. Bo wanted to run strictly man coverage schemes, and when you spread out for a while, you can't do it. You got to change with the times. Mm-hmm. And he became hard-headed with it. I don't know the exact number, but I visited Coach O the week before the Ole Miss game, which was the final game of the season. And he told me up to that point, they had given up 58 plays of 20 yards or more in 9 games.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That was before the 10th, before Corral got a hold of them. So, it definitely was in the 60s. in watching that game. So, it was disappointing. It was a lack of communication. The other thing, too, guys, listen, I say it, you guys have been in the business long enough to see it, too. You got someone who gets a little bit of success, and some people can handle success really well, and some people can't. This team, from coach to players, they were sitting in the back of the limousine waving. They thought it was all going to be easy again, which it wasn't easy in 2019. But I think they had lost, and it's a metaphor, but they lost the eye of the tiger. And they got beat up. And they got humiliated early on. It finally caught a fire a little bit later in the year, but I think, listen, it's human nature when you have a season like what they have, and which may have arguably be the greatest college football season a team has had, that you weren't going to be as good, but you got a little bit too full of yourself, okay? Bottom line. And I told this to Coach O about a week after they won the national championship. That's going to be the biggest hurdle you face. And they got a lot of that, too. Hey, guys laughing and joking on the sidelines after they're getting beat. Yeah. That would have been unacceptable at LSU in the past. And so I think that you got a certainly different attitude toward things this year. And so it is what it is, but you got a little bit too full of yourself after an unbelievable season, and that's why I've said this many times, and I'm a true believer. Nick Saban's the greatest coach ever in college football. When you look at human nature and you kind of can sit on your laurels, he doesn't allow it. And every year he loses players, coaches, guys early for the NFL draft, assistant coaches jumping from one team to the next, and they still in the national championship hunt every year. It's unbelievable. I'm going to shed my mortal coil long before we see someone else like him in college football.
Yeah, there's a reason nobody does it. Nick Saban is the best because nobody does it like him or can do it like him. But, Mike, Ed O and LSU did, like you said, won the national championship back in 2019. We're only 2 years removed from that, and it already feels like the seat under Ed O is getting hot. How important is this season to keeping his job, not just for a long future, but in the near future, especially with all the off-the-field stuff that has swallowed the LSU campus for last year?
Yeah, that you caught in the tornado. You caught in the swirl of it. And it's so funny that this was a couple of weeks after he wins the national championship. We had of all places, we had the governor's prayer breakfast together. And, man, they got lightning and thunder all over the place. And he looked at me and said, you would figure that's going on while we in here. But he said, you know what? I'm on the hot seat. And this is weeks after the national championship. And listen, he said he got a lot of blue bloods here at LSU that, I'm not their guy. So I'm always going to be on the hot seat. And so I think he understands that very, very well, that this is a bottom line, what have you done for me business? Mm-hmm. And you better win. And not just a little bit. You better win a lot. So he gets it. He understands it. It's a critical season for him. But man, listen, Ed has been better. I've known him since we were probably 9 or 10 years old because we grew up in the same area here in Lafourche Parish. But he's always better, I think, when he's got pressure on him. He's always been that type of guy. When the pressure's on him, and he can turn it up. And so there's been a lot of things certainly at LSU that needs to change. And, what's happened and what we've read and seen, that has to change here at LSU. But it's like that on a lot of campuses in college football today. There's a lot of cover-up done by players and coach. And we've seen a former coach, in a lot of trouble also. So he understands the ramifications of what the job he has. And you're trying to catch the ghost out east, okay? You're always going to be compared to that program. And I think he understands it's a critical year for him. but it hasn't hurt in recruiting. They one of the top 3 or 4 teams in recruiting, and that's Ed's wheelhouse. Defensive line coach and being a great recruiter. And they got it going. So it's a critical year for him. And it's a critical opening game out on the coast in the Rose Bowl against a team you should kick their behinds. You're a much better team than UCLA. But you know what? We all said that when they played Mississippi State last year, too.
Yeah,
and you got your butt kicked, bottom line. So it's spring break, Los Angeles. They're going to have more Cajuns and people from Louisiana and Los Angeles in the stands than they will have UCLA Bruin fans. And the good news is they're stocking up on beer and wine being sold in the Rose Bowl. The only hint I can give them is, hey, guys, y'all better store up because y'all may be out of beer and wine by the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, but, Mike, beer and wine is one thing. They don't know how to cook catfish or mud bugs properly in Southern California.
If
you have to bring your own.
They give them an open flame deal. They can bring catfish and shrimp and from Louisiana there. Listen, them guys know how to travel. When the LSU was dominant for a while in baseball in Omaha, they had people tell us, man, we wish LSU was here every year. Man, they come cooking and they were feeding everybody. But I do know alcohol and meat sales went up considerably in Omaha when LSU was playing there.
I'm sure it did.
No sushi eating at UCLA in the Rose Bowl.
No, there won't. Hopefully, all the liquor stores around the Rose Bowl are fully stocked with Crown Royal
no
because I know that's an LSU drink of choice.
Put it to you that way.
Oh, Mike, you mentioned that when you first came on about the injury for Miles Brennan, and Coach O came out recently, I think either earlier today or yesterday, talking about his potential return. Could be mid-season, could be the open date at the end of October, or do we ever see Miles Brennan in an LSU uniform again?
Well, we had his dad, Owen, on last week with us on WWL Radio, and Owen is confident that Miles will return sometime this year, and he kind of gave the indication it would be late October that he thought Miles could return, and Ed's going to be cautious with it. That hey, listen, Miles has had back-to-back some real strange injuries, So Miles and his dad said it. Miles has said it. He wants to come back to LSU and play this year, and you never know about what you don't know. Last year this team lost Miles and had to go to freshman quarterbacks. Well, guess who's behind Max Johnson? A freshman quarterback. The only guy with a scholarship at quarterback other than Max is Garrett Nussmeier. That's it. So the hope is that sometime in late October, Miles could return to LSU and possibly play. Now, again, the healing process on a 22 or 23-year-old is a lot different than a 43 and a 53-year-old man.
That is true.
You heal much quicker when you're younger. And so, I feel for him. He's a very talented guy. He's really worked hard this offseason to be the guy at LSU and then to have this incident happen. So the hope is that he can return and will return sometime in October or very early November. And you just never know. Last year we saw Miles, Max Johnson, T.J. Finley at quarterback at LSU. And so that's why this team, they're trying to get Garrett Nussmeier ready. You just never know. And how quickly can Miles come back? But his dad feels very confident that by the month of October late, he will be ready to play college football again at LSU.
Mike, appreciate your time, man. We're up against the break, so we'll leave it there. And enjoyed talking to you. Thanks so much for your time, and maybe we can do it again the week of Arkansas LSU in November.
Anytime, guys. Take care.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Mike Detillier from WWL Radio in New Orleans about the LSU Tigers. I'd also read where Derek Stingley is going to might be getting snaps on offense.
Ooh.
It'd be pretty interesting to see him with the ball and not when he's got to pick something off. 877-377-6963. for halftime. All right. I got a fun fact of the day on your awful Baltimore Orioles coming up after the break. They've lost 14 straight. The American League record is in sight. That's right. We are more interested in the bad teams right now than the good teams. We do have some good Major League Baseball stuff coming on later in the show, plus Bob Holt, halftime homework, and much more.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, it's Tyler Richardson back again at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. When I think of Hardee's, I think of going with my papaw and mamaw growing up. My daddy Joe and grandmother, we always got the made-from-scratch biscuits that you all know and love. By the way, tomorrow at this location at Phoenix Avenue, the Morning Rush will be live. Dollar sausage biscuits. You don't want to forget about that. But I'll tell you what. The chicken sandwiches here for lunch are unbelievable. Tommy raves about the chicken and waffle sandwich. I love the BLT ranch chicken sandwich. And you know about the burgers. They're the best in the business. So why don't you come by and see me, see if you can eat one in 90 seconds or less, and you're going to be entered for the 16th annual Thick Burger Contest this Saturday at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Make a Wake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Fortgugan, and more. And Make a Wake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Stopped up kitchen sink, a slow draining shower, toilets that won't flush? All of these can be a nightmare. This is Emily with Mr. Reuter Plumbing in Fort Smith. Did you know that our staff does video camera inspection? This ensures that these headaches are fixed, giving you peace of mind. When you need plumbing, call Mr. Reuter in Fort Smith or book online at mrreuter.com. We're your neighborly company.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
NWA Gold and Silver has moved to a new location in Fort Smith at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express. NWA Gold and Silver is always buying gold and silver, scrap, bullion, and coins. Plus, NWA Gold and Silver buys and sells jewelry of all kinds. Diamond rings, wedding bands, engagement rings, earrings, and more. Bring in your gold or silver today to the people that pay the most and have the best deals. NWA Gold and Silver in their new location at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express in Fort Smith.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is stepping up its bourbon selection. They now have E.H. Taylor, Angel Envy, Buffalo Trace, Bullet Rye, and Breckenridge, plus the same great pizza that you've come to know over the years. Give them a call at 479-783-9941 or check them out at papaspub.com. Stop in tonight for one of their new bourbons at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Yeah! For the first time, it's going down history, baby. New 3-6 Mafia, featuring 8-Ball and MJG, Young Buck. It's a Tennessee thing. We gotta stay.
Need a little bit more halftime in your life? Make sure to download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith has the best deals in the River Valley on liquor, beer, and wine. Stop by 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and make sure to check out their Facebook page for weekly specials. The Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast is part of the Hit That Line Podcast Network and is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
I know a lot of you had your time out on the lakes cut down to just the weekends. So maybe had your fishing time cut down a little bit. Still have a chance to get out, though, if you're fishing a jetty on the river or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, Table Rock. The Hedden Super Spook Jr. would be the top water bait to call up summer bass. Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk the dog lure. It's been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. And you'll find the Hedden Super Spook Jr. at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. Okay, Drew, I'm going to guarantee you now that your Baltimore Orioles will take this 14-game losing streak that they are currently on, and they're going to stretch that sucker to 22 and maybe even longer than that.
Oh, I hope so. I hope they make the record so large that it will never be touched, and the Orioles will continue to go down in history as the worst baseball team of all time.
Well, you're the worst. I don't even think this is the worst Orioles team from '88, but they were the one with the losing streak.
Yes.
And that wasn't just a losing streak. That was a season-opening losing streak. I don't know. Do you remember there was a DJ? There was a radio DJ in Baltimore who lived on a billboard for 2 weeks until the Orioles finally won a game. I think it was either on a billboard or the top of a building somewhere.
That's great.
And,
I haven't heard about that one before.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. Not living on billboards or anything like that. Maybe I would get the piercing for 2 weeks instead of living on a billboard. I don't know.
See, your piercing idea is starting to come around. It's a good idea, I think.
Yeah, the piercing
and it's
idea
only lasts 2
to,
weeks as long as it doesn't get infected.
And you don't. I'm already starting to gag a little just thinking about this. Anyway, that wasn't the theme of this. You're going to end up with 22 straight losses, so it's 14 in a row. You need 8.
Yes.
So your next 8 games are against, you get Tampa tonight.
Woo.
The Orioles are like 1-14 against the Rays.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So you've got the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. Then you return to Baltimore for 9 games, 3 against Atlanta. Good luck. They've won 6 in a row. And then 3 against the Angels. And then you're looking at Tampa Bay Friday for the record-breaking loss again. So and the way this works, if Ohtani pitches against the O's, that's like a guaranteed win for the Angels, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the other
he just blasted his 40th home run yesterday too,
while pitching 8 innings.
Yes.
So that's right. He's right on. I think he'd be on target to pitch against the O's. But so right then and there, you're playing 3 teams that are playing good baseball, and one of them is the best player in the game. So I'm going to guarantee 8 straight losses. And do you know how difficult that is to guarantee 8 straight losses in the most difficult sport to predict?
Exactly.
And I'm making that prediction for you right now.
Well, I hope you're right. And you have really helped change my mindset since being here of embracing the terrible.
Oh, you're leaning in.
And celebrating the mediocrity that is my favorite Major League Baseball team, a team that for most of my life I have lived and died by, which is incredibly stupid since they have been terrible most of my life. And just to kind of bring it it was really full circle earlier this week when a guy that was old then helped you reach the ALCS in Nelson Cruz, now 7 years later is still really old for playing in Major League Baseball, hits 2 home runs. Full circle for Nelson Cruz.
Like those could have been our 2 home runs.
I know.
Yeah. Another fun fact here. I don't really have to do like a how bad are the Pirates today because they're still not the worst team in the National League, although Arizona keeps winning.
2 in a row.
Pirates keep losing. The O's against the 3 first-place teams in the American League are 4-24. Now, they're even in 6 games against Houston. Combined record 1-21. Baltimore against the White Sox and the Rays. And they do get the Rays today, and what will be that 8th consecutive, will be the 22nd consecutive loss, the 8th from today. So I'll offer you a quick congratulations for that.
I appreciate that. And I'll be sure on that day to celebrate it. I'll make sure that I'm wearing some Orioles jersey because it's now become a sense of pride to be this bad. And it makes me feel good knowing that my team is worse than your team.
I feel like you've grown as a sports fan ever since
really
you started coming on this show, and you've learned to lean into the suckage of your favorite team.
Lean into the terrible. Lean into the misery. It can only make you miserable if you let it make you miserable. Just remember, like I did the tweet yesterday about how bad the O's are, but I made it a positive spin on it, I think. Glad I'm alive to see history being made. Is it bad history? Yes, but it's still history. And
now,
it's a record they can't take away from you. It's a bad record, but darn it, they will not take it away from me.
Well, the beauty of it is that they're going to take the record away from a former team
of themselves,
that franchise from 33 years ago. So, and maybe it's easier to lean into the suckiness of your favorite baseball team because it is a thing that you can ignore if you so choose.
Yeah.
For those of you,
especially being
us,
so far out of market too.
Like, it's impossible to enjoy or lean into the suckiness of your favorite football team because the whole week revolves around
that one game,
watching that one game. So if I could get you to lean into, hopefully, a sucky 2021 for the Ravens.
Yeah, that's not going to happen there.
Yeah, I think I could do that with the Orioles for you, not the Ravens.
The big difference is the Orioles have been bad for most of my life. The Ravens, who started in 1996, have been pretty darn good my entire life.
See? And it's the same with the Pirates and the Steelers for me. So we're going to have a fun football season.
We are. It's
even though baseball season is 100% miserable. All right, halftime back after the break, and it's halftime homework to take us into hour number 2.
Don't forget about dollar sausage biscuits at Hardee's this Friday in Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Sallisaw locations.
Fridays is bringing a world of flavor to your table. Come by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and explore new appetizers and cocktails inspired by Fridays around the world. New appetizers like Wing Around the World and the Potato Skin Passport. Check out our new ultimate cocktails like the Double Berry Mojito. Stop in or order online for convenient curbside pickup at Fridays.com. Come taste a world of flavor at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
At Ashley Air, keeping your home comfortable is what we do best. We're confident you'll make the right decision when trusting us with your AC cooling needs. For only $69, one of our technicians will make sure your AC cools when it matters the most. Our technicians specialize in keeping AC systems operating at peak capacity 24/7. Call us today so you can enjoy peace of mind knowing you'll stay cool and comfortable all summer.
AshleyAir.com.
Coal Hill, Altus, Hunt, and surrounding areas. Wave Rural Connect is soon to be available to you. All-fiber internet service that includes television and phone with high-speed internet. It is time to pre-register. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to pre-register so you're ready to go when the Coal Hill Zone opens up August 20th. The next wave is coming. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about Shelter's home insurance.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, chance of showers and thunderstorms are high this afternoon in the mid to upper 80s. Tonight, a few isolated showers and storms and overnight low in the low 70s. Friday, chance of showers and scattered storms are high close to the 90-degree mark, and a few more hit or miss showers or storms on Saturday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. Book your appointment at MrRooters.com.
This is halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
Go crazy at Baumwalker. Go nuts.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Your Razorbacks are 2021 SEC champions, and Baumwalker Stadium is an insane asylum.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
And into the second hour of halftime on this fabulous Thursday. 877-377-6963 is your phone number. Bob Holt texted a little bit ago. He said that the interviews, the press conferences started a little bit late, but Barry Odom has finished talking, waiting on a couple of the players to speak, and we should be good to have Bob on with us in about 30 minutes or so. Halftime homework just a moment away, but I was so remiss about this because, you know, you don't do a caller-driven radio show, as many others are. You kind of forget that somebody might be on hold for a little bit, especially when it's one of your more...
But we want to talk to you. We like you.
Well, he gives us some good stuff to talk about sometimes, which included yesterday the idea that...
Is he incarcerated
JW,
right now?
is this your one phone call from the Slammer, or what's going on today?
No. I'm a free man, and I work out well. I really called to talk to you about the New Orleans guy, because that was a great interview. I love to hear him. I miss playing them people after Thanksgiving. But something else caught my attention before I get to my comment. It'll be a quick one about the New Orleans guy. But are you familiar with the phrase "danger, danger, Will Robinson"?
Oh yeah. What was that? I forget
Lost in
which
Space.
Yeah. Lost in Space. That's right.
Anytime Ty says something is a good idea, that's the first thing that goes through my head. I'm just saying. I mean, if he's saying it, danger, danger, Will Robinson. But anyway.
Is that the way, JW, real quick, is that the way you're going to view Ty's upcoming trip to Athens? I know he tweeted about it yesterday. Like, I'm afraid of like being around Ty for a road football.
He may need to read Hunter Thompson before he goes there.
He has no clue who that is.
Know. It kind of makes me nervous. But anyhow, the New Orleans guy, because I work with these people from down there, and they are wonderful folks. You can't out Louisiana cooking those people. I don't care. You can't. I think they must learn when they're like 4 years old or something. And by the time they get to full adults, they can cook better than anybody on the planet. So we can't do that in Arkansas. But we've got one thing, and I found out this from practical experience, that they don't have. We have officially a food that I found no other place, and it's chocolate gravy. You can serve it on biscuits. You can serve it on cornbread with a big dollop of butter.
I've had chocolate gravy. I had chocolate gravy at a
time. No, it's just on weekends. It's a once-a-week thing. And they like that. And we ate a lot of it while we were up here working the gas fields and stuff. But anyway, I love y'all's show.
JW, are you trying to tell me... Are you trying to tell me? Now, I've had chocolate gravy at a diner in Elkins before, and that's the only place. I've thought about making you. I've had chocolate gravy at a diner in Elkins. But are you telling me they don't make that in Louisiana?
You need to keep it special. Overexposure is a bad thing, and just make it that weekend kind of thing, Saturday or Sunday. It was always Saturday at my house, but it would be the perfect game day food for those people from places that what the heck is that? And then they say, well, I'm not eating that. Once they try it, they say, oh, yeah, woo pig suey. I mean, it's a conversion food. It's like a drug. Anyway, take care of yourselves, okay?
Appreciate it, JW. Glad you're a free man as well.
I dig chocolate gravy. I just wonder, why did you stop with desserts at chocolate? Nobody ever talks about vanilla gravy or strawberry gravy or cherry gravy, right? I think what they'd like to do in Louisiana would be like whiskey gravy. If you could find a way to make
Crown
gravy out
Royal
of Crown
gravy?
Royal, yeah, which I know you can use that cooking to deglaze a pan, which can start some gravy for you. So I don't know. Maybe I should have been a chef in Louisiana.
I'll volunteer as tribute for that one. I'll figure out a way to make gravy that gets you drunk, because I love gravy and I like to partake in the alcohol. So
well, look, gravy usually makes me feel like crap. Alcohol can do the same thing. So maybe these things belong together.
Yeah, or it makes you feel great because they, a negative and plus a negative equals a positive. If I remember right, that's chemistry, right? Negative plus a negative equals positive.
I think that's math.
It's one of them things you learned in your schoolings, okay?
Okay. Just keep in mind, we don't he's the one with the college degree.
Yes,
around here.
we did talk. I'm out of the two of us, I am the one with the BA.
All right. I want to hit into this here because it's the first segment, hour number 2 on a Thursday, which can only mean one thing, and that's halftime homework.
What kind of homework assignment? I have a tough assignment. I'm thinking we should talk about the homework assignment.
Dude, did you do all your homework last night?
I'm not doing it. This is hard.
You really did your homework, didn't you?
It's time for halftime homework.
What do you boys have for me today?
Your homework for tonight, listeners, is to head over to Buffalo Wild Wings. They got great things going on after dark. Half off late night food from 9 until close. Half off ultimate nachos, chips and salsa, crispy buffalo chicken tots. And that's at all Buffalo Wild Wings locations in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. You can head over right now for lunch for the classic chicken sandwich. It's a hand-breaded chicken breast with pickles, mayo, and a side of fries is $5.99. All right, so the homework for you here, Drew, is going to be you're going to decide what you get to do based upon how well you do on a pop quiz involving the year 1988, which is the year that your Baltimore Orioles set that American League record with 21 consecutive losses.
Real quick, who was the president in 1988?
1988 president would have been
Ronald Reagan.
The actor?
Reagan. And that's, yes, very good. Oh, see, and I saw that part of Ted Lasso recently, so I know exactly which, but there was also an election year. Do you remember who Bush ran against? That's not part of the pop quiz.
Oh, no, I wasn't born until 94. So
Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis.
Dukakis, yeah.
One of not a very good candidate, to be quite honest. All right, so I've got a you're gonna have a choice of watching a movie from 1988, and the decision will be based upon how well or poorly you do on the pop quiz.
What is the passing grade? Is it over 50, or do I have to get a B? I mean, is it 80%? Is it 50%? What's the passing grade here?
I'm grading you based upon feeling, on the sort of feeling that I get. If you really might have actually learned something based upon this. Okay, so the thing is here, if you win or if you pass, then you get to watch a great movie from 1988. In fact, I picked one movie that was selected as a nominee in the Oscars for Best Picture. And if you fail, then I'm going to give you a choice of 2 nominees for the Razzie Award of the worst movie from 1988. All right?
I better pass. I don't. After what was the American what? Anthem?
American Anthem?
Yeah, I do not want to watch another bad movie because that was the worst movie of all time.
If you pass this, then you're going to watch Fatal Attraction.
Okay.
Which is one of the most frightening movies for a man to ever watch. And the other thing to be more frightening for a man would be a bunny rabbit. And I can only go farther. I can't go any farther than that. The worst movie you'll pick either between Ishtar, which was one of the worst comedies ever made.
Was that Warren Beatty?
Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman. Or Who's That Girl, which starred Madonna and a tiger. So, 1988. This is all sports stuff from 1988. I'll give you bonus points for a couple of the answers that are corollary to them. Who was the 1988 World Series champion? Bonus points if you can tell me who the MVP was.
The 1988 World Series champions were the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Very good. That's the only team to win 2 World Series during the 1980s. Do you remember who the MVP of the World Series was?
Was 88 the I Don't Believe What I've Just Seen series?
Yes. That's the famous Jack Buck call from the Kirk Gibson home run off Dennis Eckersley, which this guy was not a part of this play. It's bonus points, so I'm only going to give you another 3 seconds.
No.
Yeah, Oral Hershiser.
Who was
Oral
it?
Hershiser. Oral Hershiser set the record for consecutive innings pitched scoreless that year. I think it was 58. 58 innings straight scoreless. All right. So you got one right and nothing wrong because bonus points are just bonus. Who was the 1988 Super Bowl champion? This is Super Bowl 32, played at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. This was the 1987 champion. Of course, the Super Bowl was played in 1988.
San Francisco 49ers.
The Niners were the 88 Super Bowl champions. Not 88 NFL champions.
Yeah.
That means they won the 89 Super Bowl. The Washington don't have
Football
that name
team.
anymore team.
I was going back and forth in my head whether it was Washington or San Francisco. So
MVP of that Super Bowl was
Joe Theismann.
Doug Williams. Doug Williams was the quarterback, the first ever African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and he ended up as the MVP as well. They crushed Denver that day. All right, so you got one right, one wrong, and no bonus points.
Okay.
Only player elected to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in 1988. And I'll give you a hint.
Okay, I need one.
He was a member of a team that beat the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series twice in the 1970s.
The Orioles twice in the 70s. That had been a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 71 and 79, correct?
I'll give you a nickname even as a second hint. Pops. Okay.
I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
Willie Stargell.
Oh,
Willie
goodness gracious.
Stargell.
Drew.
Willie Stargell.
Oh, my goodness.
Who was, of course, the 79 World Series MVP.
Yes, of course. I should
and
have
was
known
the 17th player elected on the first ballot for the Hall of Fame. That's one right, two wrong. NCAA football champion 1988 was, and this was their 11th and so far last national title.
So far, last national title, 1988 would be. Give me. Don't buzz me. I think I can get this. Don't buzz me. I got it. I got this. 88 would have been. Oh.
Just throw something out there. Wrong. Notre Dame.
Dang
Notre Dame. And, all right, the NBA draft. This is your last chance.
Okay.
Who was the first overall pick in the 1988 NBA draft? He had led Kansas to the national title. He is currently an assistant coach at Maryland, former Wake Forest head coach.
Pass.
Danny Manning. All right, you got one right, four wrong. So you get to watch.
Dang it.
Either Ishtar, which as B.E. states is the Baltimore Orioles of movies.
Mm-hmm.
This was the biggest bomb in 1987, but it was part of the Razzies in 1988. Had a $55 million budget and made only $16 million in North America, with two of the biggest stars of the time. I read where it gets better with age.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if it gets better with age as far as you're concerned. So you get to either watch Ishtar or Who's That Girl?, which was the vehicle starring Madonna and a tiger, which I think is universally despised as one of the worst movies ever. By the way, neither of these movies won the Razzie that year. Leonard Part 6, starring Cosby, was the Razzie winner. So you get to you get to have your pick. You don't have to make the choice right now.
I'll bet he actually has a hard time finding either of these movies available to stream.
Well, I'll pay for it.
Do they have them out of the video store?
I would
Ishtar
doubt
is streaming. Ishtar is. I'm going to guarantee you these movies are streaming still.
Ishtar is streaming on which service?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's streaming somewhere, which means you can watch it. What do you got for me?
All right, I'm going to continue on the Miley Cyrus scene that we went to last week. So, by the way, did you like Plastic Hearts? Did you like the album?
Oh, I did the wrong assignment, man.
Which one did you do?
I listened to Roseanne Cash. The List.
That was a listener's assignment. You didn't do my assignment.
I guess I didn't do your assignment.
See, Phil hears what he wants to hear, and when he heard that, he's like, "Oh, that's my assignment."
All right, you're doubling up on the Miley Cyrus then this week. You're going.
And I like Miley's. I just forgotten it.
All right, so
album.
Plastic Hearts album by Miley Cyrus. You have to listen to that, and you have to watch the last song with Miley Cyrus. It's a movie based off of a book by the same guy that wrote The Notebook. It's a romantic movie.
He's punishing me for now assigning him Who's That Girl because he can't answer a simple question.
No, this is more of a punishment over American Anthem. And the next 5 homeworks will be punishment for American Anthem just due to the fact of how bad that movie was.
Are there any movies that Roseanne Cash is in that Phil can watch this weekend?
Not that I know of.
We could watch the movie about her dad that somebody played her in at some point. Yeah, would that count?
Well, that's not your homework assignment.
What you had to do, Drew, you had a really important homework assignment, which was learning the Arkansas fight song.
Yes.
So let's have it.
Do I have to do it right now?
This is halftime homework, man.
This is it.
Yeah, and we're coming up near the break, so you better get it going.
Do I get music?
Oh, God, give me just a second. Everybody wait in silence as I pull this up.
Well,
everybody just silently stare at Maddie real quick.
Yeah, look at me. And
it allows him to remember go through the words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to be super nervous right now. We do not allow singing on these airwaves very often.
Well, I already missed my cue.
All right, here we go. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1.
All right, right here?
Yeah.
Hit that line, keep on moving. Move that ball right down the field. Give a cheer, rah, rah, never fear, rah, rah. Arkansas will never yield. On your toes, Razorbacks to the finish. Carry on with all your might, cause it's AARKA and this for Arkansas. Fight, fight, fight.
I'll give you a passing grade for that one.
Thank you.
For the effort alone. And your voice is not as bad as I expected it to be.
I appreciate it.
I think our listeners appreciate it.
I don't know why the 3 A's and spelling out Arkansas, it's like
I think you missed the 5th A and the 2nd S, but it's all right. You'll get a passing grade. All right, we'll come back after the break. More halftime. 877-377-6963, the number.
Heartache number 1 was when you left me.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
It'd be great to be at a traditional matchup with Arkansas and Texas. When I was a kid, that game was played every year. And it's really an important game, if you think about it, for both teams, trying to create some momentum. And with Coach Pittman playing Rice and then playing Texas. But we'd love to be there. It'd be a lot of fun. And if we don't make it for that one, hopefully we can get there soon.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson back here again at Hardee's 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Now, hour 1 was hot here at this location. We had Thumper and Allen come in. Thumper qualified by the skin of his teeth, and Allen just came up just short. Now, I got to commend him. He was trying to win those Chiefs-Cowboys tickets for his son, who is a giant Chiefs fan. If that's not fatherhood, if that's not being a good dad, I don't know what is. So commend Allen and commend Thumper for coming in and testing out their wit today here at Hardee's 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Reminder, the Morning Rush here tomorrow, 6 to 9 a.m., plus dollar sausage biscuits at every Sallisaw, Fort Smith, and Northwest Arkansas Hardee's location through breakfast. Come on by and see me until 1 o'clock at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
At Ashley Air, keeping your home comfortable is what we do best. We're confident you'll make the right decision when trusting us with your AC cooling needs. For only $69, one of our technicians will make sure your AC cools when it matters the most. Our technicians specialize in keeping AC systems operating at peak capacity 24/7. Call us today so you can enjoy peace of mind knowing you'll stay cool and comfortable all summer.
AshleyAir.com.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Chad Moore. I'm a 22-year Army veteran with deployment to Iraq and Afghanistan, and now I still serve my community as a firefighter. When the COVID vaccine came out, I got vaccinated because I felt that it was important not only for myself, but for the community as a whole and my family. And with the new variant, it's more important than ever to get vaccinated. I've served my country. Now it's time for you to do your part to protect your community and our country by getting the vaccine.
Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, what's happening, shouting? The king back. I know y'all miss a pimp, right? Yeah, but dig, there's been a lot of hate going on, okay? So let me holler at you something. What's the hey, look at here, dog. You might have seen me in the street, but shouted, you don't know me. When you holler when you remember, you don't know me. Save all the hating and the popping, pimping, you don't know me. Quit telling people you my partner, listen, you don't know me. Don't be a
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
773776963 calls and texts. Still hoping we can get Bob Holt on. The interviews, the pressers started a little bit late. Players just started talking about 8-9 minutes ago, so we might get Bob a little later than 12:30. We might not get him at all, but we will certainly have plenty of sound from Barry Odom at hitthatline.com, our YouTube, and have a lot of that sound to play back tomorrow on the Morning Rush. All right, there is nobody ever like Shohei Ohtani. We've been saying this for quite a while now. So yesterday, not only does he throw 8 innings and allow just 1 run, 6 hits, strike out 8, wins his 8th game, lowers his ERA to 2.79, but of course he also batted leadoff and hits his 40th home run of the season, and it sounded like this.
I'm sorry, I don't have it pulled up. This was his 40th home run. I'm getting it real quick.
You got it right
this
there.
is one of those situations where everybody, you just have to hang tight, and then it loads. See, okay, I clicked the link. There's no video.
Oh, never mind. We can just worry about the idea that the guy had his 40th home run, and it's practically nothing's
I don't know
ever
what the
happened
Angels
like this.
announcer sounds like. If this was a Yankees player, I can do a pretty good impression
It's
of that guy.
Vasgersian. It's Vasgersian, who's the Angels TV announcer now. He's actually, it's amazing because he's probably like 26 years older than you, Drew, but he sounds younger than you.
Really?
Do. Yes. Well, Ohtani's incredible. I mean, this is a guy who has a chance to, you're not going to win in a Cy Young Award, I don't think, but he's got to be a runaway MVP, even with his Angels outside of right now what would be a playoff spot, which is kind of a tough thing to think about.
I mean, 40 home runs by itself puts you in MVP category. It puts you in the conversation without, also being a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. It has nothing to do either with what he did at the Home Run Derby or at the All-Star game or anything like that, in which he was a star as well there. Also saw one of the weirdest ways to get ejected in a Major League game yesterday. Did you see Lance Lynn?
Oh, I did.
So Lynn, who's had a great year for the White Sox.
I do have this audio.
You have this audio?
Yes. Something
Go
about
ahead and play
that link.
this.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
They're going to check the hat and the glove. That's Nick Lentz, the third base umpire, walking over. Now you're going to watch at some point. I believe somebody gets thrown out of the game. Right there. And, oh, you know what it was? That might have been Lance Lynn's belt. Yep, it's on the warning track. The bat boy picked up the belt. And now Tony arguing Lance's case. I think Lance got kicked out.
Lance got kicked out. That is not a particularly
you can stop it
good
there,
break.
Matty, because that's just a really bad look. I know he was upset at the umpire because he said he came over and got to him too late. Lynn describes here what happened with this umpire, and he does say that he did throw his belt.
I was coming off the mound. He was late getting over, so I left my glove and my hat. And then while I was going down in the dugout trying to see the trainers because I'm dealing with something, he yells at me that he needs to see my belt. So I tossed it up, and then he throws me out.
Yeah, and I've never seen anybody throw a belt at anybody before.
Lance Lynn described it in a very mild term. He said he tossed his belt. No, buddy, you threw it.
He threw it, and
you
he
were
should have
angry.
Even LaRussa said, I can understand why he ejected him. You can't throw
at somebody.
a piece of anything at an umpire. I mean, and he'll end up getting suspended for that, and probably should.
Is this last 14-second clip worth playing?
No, don't worry about that.
Did you see Nolan Arenado get thrown out last night, too?
Well, what was it for?
I saw the clip. I can't remember what it was for, but he said
Did
something.
Did he fire his jockstrap at the umpire?
No, he just said something and then went you-know-what crazy.
I once saw a manager in Double-A ask the trainer, his athletic trainer, to come out onto the field and administer an eye test to the umpire on the field, and then he told him to bend him over and check his backside to see if he's not full of crap, too. I heard these words being spoken.
That is great.
It's my favorite ejection of all time. Halftime, right back.
Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
When it comes to baling, the denser, the better. Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas can show you how roll belt round balers produce denser and higher quality round bales that drive down your production costs while driving up the nutrition of your bales. A competitive comparison showed New Holland roll belt round balers provide savings in net wrap, transportation, and lower storage losses. It's like being able to afford a new baler every other year. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat.
You know, the start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game or before the season starts, head on over to Bet Online and start playing today. That's Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab.
C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tanya Tucker said when she died, she may not go to heaven because she didn't know if they let cowboys inside. Psalm 24 answers her question. Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. The only one qualified to meet that standard ascended after he died to pay the way for you to go inside. Believing in Jesus means he won't condemn us, and the only will be hotter than Texas. I'm Pastor Ethan Woodland. Think about it.
You know, the start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, BetOnline has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit
Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is growing and looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building experience or you have welding skills, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits. Join the top fence building team in the state. The Fence Man. Apply today in person. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Better make some room in the history books, because there's a new chicken classic to write about. Try the new classic chicken sandwich for $5.99 from B-Dubs. And sink your teeth into juicy hand-breaded chicken, topped with pickles and mayo between a rich challah bun. Plus, it comes with fries, and it's $5.99 for a limited time. Don't wait for that price to be history. Get here for the new classic chicken sandwich from Buffalo Wild Wings. Available at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last, taxes extra. Add-ons extra. Delivery subject to availability. Fees may apply.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! I didn't have to turn my head whenever you walked in.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Working on getting Bob Holt here, and halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center, new sponsor on halftime, right there in Alma. Crabtree is the RV dealership in serving the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years. Got a 17-acre, 26,000-foot showroom located right there at the junction of I-40 and I-49 beside the Cracker Barrel. Crabtree RV Center gives every family the best experience. They start from choosing the right RV for your adventures to the service and parts department, plus everything needed in between. Crabtree RV, making families' dreams come true for over 70 years and 4 generations. CrabtreeRV.com. Bob Holt is with us from right outside the practice facility at the University of Arkansas. Football is 2 weeks and 2 days away, Arkansas versus Rice. Bob, how are you today? Thanks for being adjustable with us and coming on as usual on a Thursday.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, we just got done with some interviews. I'm actually in the Broyle Center parking lot.
Yep, we know that parking lot well. So I know Barry Odom spoke, and we've been waiting to hear his thoughts about his defense and maybe the scheme as well. Who are the players that you guys got to speak to today?
Well, we talked to the safeties. Barry's a coordinator, obviously calls the plays. He coaches the safety specifically. So we got Joe Fouché and Simeon Blair.
Okay, so what was give us the overarching talk from Barry Odom? What did you take away from hearing Arkansas's defensive coordinator today?
Well, yeah, big theme, and the safeties talked about this too, was just the defensive line depth. Barry Odom has always been predominantly been a 4-3 guy, 4-down lineman coach. His background is as a coordinator and the head coach of Missouri. But last year they didn't play for down linemen very often because they honestly didn't have the numbers. And the LSU game where they got hit with COVID, I think Barry said they had like 5 linemen total. And so I think this year it depends obviously what the game plan is going to be and who they're playing. But last year playing 4-down linemen really wasn't a viable option very often, even if they wanted to do it. And this year, you feel like they're going to have the flexibility to play 3 or 4, however they want to do that. So, that's going to be a plus. They got that influx of 3 graduate transfer linemen, which is pretty rare. I think you get 3 good linemen at one position like that. 2 guys from Missouri, Markel Uche from Little Rock, and Trey Williams was from Missouri, and John Ridgway, who's apparently having a really good camp from what we can see and what people say. You wonder this guy must have been like Merlin Olsen or something at Illinois State at that level, because he's playing pretty well, in this camp against SEC players. So that was a big part of it. Just the added defensive line depth and talent, and also I think there's just a level of I don't know. It's not like players are comfortable. There's a comfort level, I think, with this team. Barry Odom's second year as coordinator and having a lot of players back, and of course we know Barry had options, to leave. I think Texas wanted to hire him. I think LSU wanted to hire him. He decided to stay here. And he said he couldn't be working for a better guy than Stan Pittman. Really enjoys it here. I'm sure he wants to be head coach again, and I'm sure he'll get that opportunity at some point. But right now he's pretty happy at Arkansas. And I have trouble seeing him leave here for another coordinator job.
There's been so much focus on defensive line the last 2 days. Jamariel Ashley spoke to the media yesterday, and Dorian Gerald speak as well, and today, that's the first thing that you're getting into, and we have a thought that the secondary it has a chance to improve upon last year, and they had their outstanding moments last year. Linebacking core, hopefully a little deeper, but it really does seem that the expectation, if this defense can do all the things that a Barry Odom defense can do, that it really will start with the defensive line. And that's been, for me, defensively, the overarching theme of camp.
Yeah, and obviously, Jonathan Marshall, their nose guard last year, very, very good player, had a great year, 6th-round pick of the Jets. I didn't see this, but I think Barry said he had a sack the other night for the Jets and whoever they were playing an exhibition game. So he was a big loss. But really, they have everybody back significant besides Marshall. And then, like I said, they added those players. He was a secondary, basically. Everybody's back, linebackers, everybody's back. So many, we call them super seniors, the guys that are 6-year seniors that decide to come back. And that says a lot for the coaching staff, because a lot of times if guys decide to come back for another year of college, they might go somewhere else, with the transfer portal being so wide open like it is. And so, there's just so much experience, and it's an experienced staff with Barry, and I think he's got guys in place with the position coaches the way he wants it now. And so, it's hard to see how this defense wouldn't be better.
Yeah, you definitely hope that for Arkansas to have that type of momentum and uptick in the season that I think we're all really expecting, it's going to have to start on the defensive side. And one thing that I'm interested to see, and I don't know if he talked about it today, Bob, but excuse me, how more aggressive are they going to be in their blitzing schemes, and especially on first down? Because that was a big question mark from last year of playing really conservative early in a series.
Well, we didn't really get into blitzing, and I'm sure if we had, he wouldn't have been too specific.
Yeah.
But the coaches obviously want to keep their game plans under wraps. But it was funny. I asked the safeties about the defensive line. Jeff Fouché, his face lit up, and he was like, "Oh man, I've been wanting to talk about those guys." And basically, it's no secret Arkansas didn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback last year. Didn't get a lot of sacks, and so this year, something Joe was talking about in practice. Obviously, they don't hit the quarterback, but they sort of have touch sacks, or that guy's in the area and gets blown dead or whatever. You anticipate that would have been a sack, maybe. However it gets counted statistically, but they feel like he was talking about how much faster he thinks the defensive lineman will be able to get back to the quarterback, which obviously will make the secondary's job easier, not easy, but easier. If they can get, back to that quarterback a couple seconds faster, he's either going to be taking sacks or having to, throw the ball away or maybe throwing it up for grabs, and they got a lot of interceptions last year anyway, especially that Ole Miss game. But so yeah, I think you're going to see Arkansas getting more pressure. I mean, just having more linemen and experienced secondary and a little better depth at linebacker. We'll see how that plays out. I think there's 3 linebackers I feel real good about with Morgan, Henry, and Poole. Beyond that, I think there's some guys that they feel can help them, but they got to show they can do it. But I just think Barry, it's like a chess player. You just got more pieces available to move around the board.
And you just brought up those linebackers, and you talked about how the safeties are happy about the defensive linemen coming in and relieving some of that pressure, making it easier. how much easier is it going to make it on Grant Poole and Bumper Poole and those guys? And, we're expecting Grant Morgan to capitalize on his All-American season last year and to be even better. But do you expect his statistics to go down with that much more experience in front of him?
Well, I mean, it kind of depends on what their scheme is for that week, what their game plan is. Basically, most defenses, you want the linemen to tie up the blockers and free up the linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
Keep those offensive linemen or running. I started to say fullback. I'm not sure anybody plays a fullback anymore. But basically, they want to keep people off those linebackers so they're free to run to the ball and make plays. That's what most defenses are designed to do. So, yeah, having more help up front, I think, will free up the linebackers even better. And, we'll see how that plays out. It's not easy to get 100-something tackles. And also, a lot of it gets down to efficiency. Everything's about analytics and how much plays, should Bumper play or should Grant play or should Hayden play before they start having some diminishing returns. Like maybe, after 50 snaps, just naturally, physically in the SEC, their level of play starts to go down. So we've got it's kind of like in basketball, you rest, your starters in the second quarter or the fourth quarter, or late in the third quarter or something. So they'll figure out what's the optimum number of plays for these linebackers and try to give them some rest too. So it's different things, the defensive line, but also maybe being able to play the linebackers an efficient amount of snaps.
Them putting Simeon Blair in front of the cameras and in front of the microphones, to me, seems like a really good thing. Grant Morgan talked about how his leadership role has grown in the offseason, and you saw some good things from him at safety last year, and that'll be an interesting tandem, he and Jalen Catalon back there at safety. What did Simeon Blair have to talk about? Because it seems like he's got an incredibly large role for this team after starting in 2 games last year.
Yeah, he's the guy that you really hadn't heard much about last year going into the season. He was a walk-on and hadn't played much. And then, he got thrust into playing quite a bit, and then he got a scholarship, which is great for him. It's always a great story when the walk-ons get scholarships. It's great, obviously, financially, but it's also sort of a validation that, hey, this guy belongs. He's an SEC caliber player. And I think Simeon will have a bigger role. I'm sure he's more confident going into this year. And kind of like Fouché was, they're going to play a lot of 3 safety with, Fouché, Catalon, and Simeon Blair. And, last year they did a lot of cross-training because of COVID. They did a lot of that with the offensive line, especially. They did a lot of that in the secondary because you just never knew who you might have week to week. Some guys might test positive, or they might get caught up in contact tracing. And so I think, unfortunately, COVID is still with us, but, the team's pretty much fully vaccinated, and so you hope that won't be an issue. But if it is, I think they're prepared for that, or, injuries too. I think what the coaches learned was, hey, this cross-training's a pretty good idea. Let's do more of it. Hopefully COVID's not an issue, but, if you have injuries or maybe you want to play more DBs against a certain team. It's like Joe was saying, those guys, they have specific positions out there in the secondary, but if need be, they can play different spots too, and that comes with experience, obviously, as well.
The overarching issue for the defense last year was the inability to get off the field. It struggled a bit on third down, and a lot of that's because it struggled to, keep teams from getting good yardage on first and second down. Didn't generate too much of a pass rush, and really, when you look at it, and I know the numbers right in front of you, there's so many more snaps for Arkansas on defense than there were on offense that it was just a total imbalance. And I don't believe that time of possession is the most important thing in the world, but, man, defensively, that team just looked run down by the end of the season. And for me, I know it's August still, and I don't want to worry too much about what happens late in the season right now, but that's what stood out to me. That defense was run down because they just didn't have any depth. And I think by the end of the season, we'll have a real sense of whether or not the depth is there. If they look run down again. I hope they don't. I don't think they will.
Well, that's also, I think, a byproduct of a 10-game SEC schedule, and not just a 10-game SEC schedule, but, arguably, I don't even think it's really up for debate. Arkansas played the toughest schedule in the country last year when the SEC dumped Georgia and Florida on them. they expanded the conference schedule. And, playing in the West, you got to play Alabama and Auburn, LSU, and A&M, and the Mississippi schools are tough too. There's really there's no easy game in the SEC, but this year, look at their schedule, and you look at the three of the teams changed coaches in the East: South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee. Man, if I was in the West, I'd want to play some of those teams. I wasn't going to play any of them, And so I think they probably got the toughest schedule in the country again. Last year, I don't think it was up for debate. I mean, when they added Florida and Georgia, I was just flabbergasted. I thought, you got to be kidding me. But hey, but I think that had something to do with it too. Not just 10 SEC games, but 10 really tough SEC games. And so not just they got to play Texas this year, which is soon going to be an SEC team, and it's comparable to an SEC team. And I don't think Georgia Southern was 8-5 last year. I don't think there's too many gimmies on that schedule at all, but I do think it will help not to have to play 10 SEC games.
Bob, appreciate you hopping on with us. And I know we had to jump around a little bit, and right after you're done talking with the players, you come on with us. So appreciate the immediacy of that and being adjustable, and we always appreciate you.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, okay, you guys take care.
You got it. That's Bob Holt, Democrat Gazette. And you read him tomorrow, wholehogsports.com. Might still be getting might be one of those people that subscribes and has the iPad. For those of you who do the iPad newspaper subscription, 877-377-6963, the number to finish up with us on halftime. Shane in Van Buren wants us to make bourbon bacon gravy. JW earlier told us chocolate gravy is an Arkansas thing that you got over at Louisiana. They've got to do something with bourbon for gravy, and Shane's got an idea. Bourbon and bacon work together in tandem nicely. Find a way to make a gravy out of it somehow. Halftime to wrap it up. Cherry on the top next.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson back here again at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Had two people coming in hour one, Thumper and Allen. One qualified, one didn't. Hey, which one are you going to be? This is the final qualifier for the 16th annual Thick Burger Contest this Saturday at this location. Remember, it's easy, 1820 Phoenix Avenue right here in Fort Smith. Not only do we have the final qualifier here today, we're going to be here tomorrow as well with the morning rush from 6 to 9 a.m. Dollar sausage biscuits all throughout breakfast, not just at this location, but all Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Salisaw location. Hardee's, again, dollar sausage biscuit. There ain't no better biscuit out there than you're going to find at Hardee's. Come on by and see me until 1 o'clock at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
In the mood for a top shelf night? 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
Attention, attention. Do you have a fifth wheel, travel trailer, or motorhome that you don't get to use as often as you want? Well, Breeden RV has a solution. Breeden RV wants to buy your RV. Due to the historic events that have happened over the past year, RVs are in high demand, and Breeden RV will pay you top dollar for yours. So push it, pull it, or drag it to Breeden RV in Van Buren today for your free appraisal and get cash in hand within an hour. Call Breeden RV at 479-262-2418 or visit them on the web at breedenrvs.com.
Wake up your happy at Hardee's with the new $3 French toast dips. Wait, what? French toast dips sprinkled with powdered sugar and served with a side of syrup. Sugary, syrupy, dippable. Sweeten up your morning at Hardee's. Try the new $3 French toast dips at Hardee's. The sweet one on the 2-3 more breakfast menu. Feed your happy. Available during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
Make your car buying experience better at Hertz Car Sales. The goal is to provide customers with a wide selection of low-mileage, extra-clean vehicles, providing their buyers with a better way to drive. A professional sales staff, quality customer service, along with a relaxing atmosphere is what you find every time at Hertz Car Sales. What are you waiting for? Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard or call them today at 783-1722. You can also check them out online at buyfromhertz.com. Hertz Car Sales, when you're ready.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! Long distance information, give me Memphis, Tennessee. Help me find the party.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
We'll wrap things up in just a moment here. Our show, as always, brought to you by 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, open tonight till midnight. 906lounge.com, the website. Go to their Facebook page for menu and events. And got great food. Love the wings, flatbreads. Not going to smell like a cigar inside 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge because they have a state-of-the-art airflow system. It will replace the air every 4 minutes. It's 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, 906 Garrison Avenue in the Fort. It's where you get all the best cigars, top shelf spirits, and best atmosphere you'll find anywhere. 906lounge.com, 906 Garrison Avenue, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. All right, what to do to wrap this thing up with? I saw this video. Go ahead.
Real quick, I do have a question. And
Shoot.
Everybody that's been watching on the streaming has been introduced to, I call him Swan over here, in front of me. Do I leave him here and let the?
You got to describe what you have here. This is the
thing I described yesterday.
This is the mascot that your potentially maybe future father-in-law who is spying on you.
Yes, who's retired FBI,
and he's using this mascot, this Razorback Stuffy, as the way to get into your house, essentially.
Yes. So do I leave him here or do I let him come back to my apartment?
I don't want him spying on me.
Well, if he's spying on the guys in the morning rush in the morning,
yeah.
I mean,
well, I'm
and you're part of that.
Part of that too. So, but I'm at home, I think, more than I am at work. Well, and when I'm at work, I act pretty professionally. But then again, I named him Swan because he's always looking at me, and everybody knows the line from Billy Madison, "Stop looking at me, Swan." So that's always makes me laugh. And plus, when I have a few drinks at night, I'm not drinking alone because he's there.
And if you want to dance, you have a dance partner because he does sing and dance.
He does dance, yes.
Sounds to me like somebody you want at home. Instead of somebody you want at work.
But he does creep me out sometimes.
Dad right now I don't think cares very much about what you like at work because
see, and that's the thing. I'd rather him not know what I do at home.
That's
not that I'm doing anything bad.
That would be the beginning of the end of the relationship if you keep that thing at work.
Yeah, something about the way he's looking at.
I know, right?
Just that look. I feel like he has bad intentions. Just let me put it that way.
Like I'm always afraid I'm just gonna wake up in the middle of the night, like in a horror movie, open my bedroom door, and there he's just gonna be standing right there.
BE has an even better idea on the text machine.
What is your answer, BE?
Keep him with you all the time. Make him your travel partner to and from work. It's got to be lonely, doing that commute all by yourself.
Oh yes, that long 2-minute commute that I have. I live less than 2 minutes from the station. So
just turn them into your security mannequin. You know, I've seen some people, mostly women, I think, if drive around. If they're single, they might have a male appearing mannequin in the passenger seat because nobody's going to mess with them if it looks like there's a guy with them.
Got to keep away the scrubs.
You need to do this with you. What are you calling your mascot here?
Swan.
What is it?
His name is Swan because he's always looking at me.
Even though it's a Razorback with tusks.
Yes.
Swan. Okay. Yeah, JT wouldn't want the future father-in-law seeing what Ty says and does on the morning rush, which you almost called the morning trash, JT. I don't think you meant to spell it that way.
He called it the morning rash.
Yeah. Well, keep that thing away from me, please.
See, but
Whenever
I mean, just like look at it, Phil. I mean, it looks like it's peering into your soul, doesn't it? Like it just looks.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it looks angry. That's the thing. It looks angry and it's got a bad comb over.
Would you take that thing to a Brewers game with you?
Well, as if you did take that thing to a Brewers game, at least you could mansplain baseball the way that the Brewers television announcers saw this dude doing to his girlfriend, and they had a chance to make fun of him.
He's telling her how he used to do it. Yeah, I remember when I was in high school. I threw that nasty curveball. Should have seen him. Had big rotation on it. Yeah, I'll show you pictures when we get back home. Got some video, too. It's black and white, but it's going to be great. You know what I mean?
She's not buying it either, is she? No.
Please stop talking.
You know what?
Please stop talking. Really? Yeah, I mean, I was great. You should have seen. I could have gone pro, but had an argument with a coach, and we didn't quite see eye to eye.
Yeah, that trick elbow got me.
He didn't like that I wore my hat backwards.
Dude, they describe that perfectly. Her
you love the video of that
yeah.
guy too. It's
He's really descriptive.
He's into the conversation.
How you do your
She
fingers
is not.
and stuff. Yeah, get the rotation on the ball.
Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder on the Brewers television network there. So the girl is wearing Cardinals gear. The guy is wearing Brewers gear.
The Cardinals weren't even playing in the game, though.
And she's wearing Cardinals gear. Exactly. So, but that's the thing. And you've seen other videos of, like, guys mansplaining what's happening on a baseball field. See, the ball spins this way, and the guy wants to run that way and everything. It's like when you see a lot of hand motions with a guy next to a girl at a sporting event, guarantee the look on that woman's face is pure and utter annoyance.
It is. Because either you're mansplaining something they already know, or they're just there to make you happy and they don't really care what's going on and don't really care to learn. So either way, they're going to be annoyed.
I feel like
very few and far between women actually want to know if they don't already.
I feel like I've tried to explain things before and I've gotten that same exact response. Yeah.
Well, I give Bubba the same response on baseball broadcasts when he tries to explain anything, because got to look at Bubba certain ways sometimes. Yeah. That's called Bubba-splaining.
And I know it's hard in radio, but have you ever done that to somebody over there?
Well, it's radio, so
they can't see that.
Yes, I've made fun of people that sound like they're drunk from sitting down below. That way you can make fun of them. I can never hear a guy mansplaining to a woman about baseball in the broadcast, except if it's just me. Phil-splaining to everybody instead. All right. We've got to the end of the show today, and it's been a lot of fun. Tomorrow, Moses Moody joins us at 12 noon. He's the sandwich part in the middle, with Aaron Torres joining us in the first hour as well. So lots to get to tomorrow. For Drew, for Maddie, this is Phil. Get up, get out, get better.